Have you ever woken up after a full night of sleep, yet felt completely exhausted? Not physically, not mentally, but deep within your soul. There is a kind of tiredness that sleep cannot fix, a heaviness that coffee cannot cure, a fatigue that comes from carrying too much emotional weight for too long. And if you are an empath, you know exactly what this feels like. Because while others are busy protecting their energy, you have spent years absorbing the emotions, pain, expectations, and wounds of everyone around you. Until one day, your soul quietly whispers, "I can't carry this anymore." The frightening part is that most empaths don't realize their soul is exhausted until the signs become impossible to ignore. Today, we will explore 9 powerful signs that your empath soul is crying out for healing, and the final sign may reveal something your crown's been feeling for a very long time without understanding why. Let's begin. Number 1. You wake up tired no matter how much you sleep. Your body may have rested, but your spirit has not. An exhausted empath often spends the night processing emotional energy collected throughout the day. Even while sleeping, your mind is revisiting conversations, reliving painful memories, and carrying emotions that were never yours to begin with. You wake up feeling as if you've been fighting invisible battles all night. Because in many ways, you have. Number 2. You feel that something is wrong, but you can't explain what it is. This feeling is one of the most confusing experiences for an empath. Everything seems normal on the surface, yet deep inside something feels disconnected. The things that once brought joy no longer light you up. Helping others feels draining instead of fulfilling. And when someone asks, "What's wrong?" you don't have an answer. Not because nothing is wrong, but because the wound exists deeper than words can reach. Number 3. You constantly drift away from the present moment. Your body is here, but your mind is somewhere else, replaying the past, worrying about the future, analyzing conversations, imagining scenarios. The exhausted empath becomes trapped inside their own inner world, and slowly, life begins passing by while they are lost inside their thoughts. Number 4. People begin draining you more than usual. Even ordinary conversations feel exhausting. Small talk becomes unbearable. Crowded places feel overwhelming. Negative people seem impossible to tolerate. You start noticing every hidden emotion, every false smile, every unspoken tension. And because your soul is already depleted, every interaction feels like another demand on an empty battery. Number 5. Your emotions become intensely amplified. A small disappointment feels devastating. A minor criticism feels crushing. A sad story can bring tears instantly. When an empath soul is exhausted, emotional boundaries become weaker. Everything enters more deeply. Everything feels heavier, and the emotional waves become harder to control. Number 6. You experience a profound loneliness. Perhaps one of the most painful signs of all. You may be surrounded by friends, family, co-workers, and people who care about you. Yet somehow, you still feel completely alone. Because nobody seems to understand what is happening inside you. You feel unseen, misunderstood, disconnected, and the isolation slowly grows louder than any external noise. Number 7. You feel physically exhausted for no obvious reason. You wake up tired. You move through the day tired. You go to sleep tired. Simple tasks feel overwhelming. Motivation disappears. Your body feels heavy even when medical tests reveal nothing unusual. Because sometimes emotional exhaustion doesn't stay emotional. It enters the body, and the body begins carrying what the soul can no longer contain. Number 8. You become emotionally vulnerable. Everything feels personal. Everything feels intense. You find yourself close to tears without understanding why. Small setbacks feel enormous. You feel fragile, exposed, raw, as if your emotional armor has completely disappeared. This is often not weakness. It is the soul's signal that healing can no longer be postponed. Number 9. Your mind becomes filled with negativity. This is often the final warning sign. The empath who once saw beauty in people begins seeing only disappointment. The person who once offered compassion begins feeling resentment. The heart that once overflowed with understanding becomes consumed by frustration. You start questioning humanity, questioning relationships, questioning yourself, and deep down, you know something must change, because this is not who you truly are. This is who you become when your soul has been neglected for too long. And here is the lesson most empaths spend years learning. You were never meant to carry everyone. You were never meant to heal everyone. You were never meant to sacrifice your own peace to save others. Your sensitivity is a gift, but even gifts require protection. Healing begins the moment you stop asking, "How can I help everyone else?" and start asking, "What does my soul need right now?" Because the world does not need an empath who is exhausted. The world needs an empath who is healed. And sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is finally choose yourself. If these signs resonated with you, your soul may not be asking for more effort. It may simply be asking for rest, boundaries, and compassion. Listen carefully. Your healing begins the moment you stop abandoning yourself. Your soul was never exhausted because you loved too much. It became exhausted because you forgot to love yourself while loving everyone else. For years, you carried burdens that were never yours. You absorbed pain that was never yours to heal. You sacrificed your peace hoping to save others. But true healing begins the moment you realize that protecting your energy is not selfish, it is sacred. Because the world doesn't need an empath who is constantly breaking themselves for others. The world needs an empath who is whole, healed, and deeply connected to their own soul. Remember this, the strongest empath is not the one who carries everyone's pain. The strongest empath is the one who finally learns when to let it go. The day you choose your own healing over everyone else's expectations is the day your soul finally comes home.